I want to know that there are hearts in the bank. So, you know, so what there's one for me.
This teenager needs a new heart. Without it, he will die. The Welsh Government says it has a plan to help, but will it work?
If something's working, and it is in Wales, why break it?
Well, I don't think it's unrealistic to expect that we will get more organs available for transplantation with this system.
Tonight, we hear the despair of those who have no option but to wait.
The worst thing is what you're praying for is someone to have an accident, which is probably a bad thing to do as well, because you're paying for someone's misery.
And those who've given.
They'd said that he hasn't really got a chance. And so the consultant had then said, will you donate? Would you like to donate his organs?
And those who doubt a new law will save more lives.
It's ill-considered and it's not going to deliver the additional organs which the patients are waiting for.
"48-year-old Mark Schofield from Porthcawl has had 2 kidney transplants. Week in, week out, first met the former surf champion 5 years ago. His first transplant had failed, and he was waiting for another.
But I'm not prepared to sit down, lie down, and play dead. God, I gotta take the gamble.
At the time, Mark was having to undergo hours of dialysis every day. It was a routine that dominated his life. Time, he thought, was running out.
I've not finished my life. I want to do more. Now I've now got to look to the best place I can get the kidneys from.
Mark decided to make a drastic decision. He travelled to the Philippines to buy a kidney instead.
We're all right, don't worry now, we'll be fine.
Today he finds the programme and those memories hard to watch.
You know, it makes me think how desperate I must have been, mind, for sure. That was pretty scary though, that being on that machine over there. Funny enough, now I look at it and I'm quite scared for him. I'm quite, you know, I'd be worried now about that because of where it is and stuff, and yet at the time it didn't worry me at all because I didn't think I could have it here, so it was, there was the best thing.
In his case, there simply weren't enough kidneys available through voluntary donations. He believes the current system is loaded against consent.
If you have a question you're not sure about, just say no, it'll be fine. And that's what we do. That's our nature. If in doubt, don't do it.
The current system of opting in means that those who want to donate their organs after death make an individual decision to sign up for the organ donor register. More than 30% of people in Wales are on that donor list. But those who aren't registered can still have their organs donated if their families agree. Seeking approval for that consent is the job of the organ donor team.
The first part is actually explain to them that your loved one has died or there's no hope of recovery. They need to very much accept that there is no hope of recovery before broaching that subject, and that's perhaps where some clinicians go wrong and why families say no, because they haven't actually accepted death at that point. Once the family have accepted that their loved one isn't going to get better or that they've already died, it's only then that we start to broach those issues. And really you would frame it in terms of, you know, did they ever express a wish regarding organ donation? We also can check the organ donor register, which may help to inform that decision. It's quite clear that being on the organ donor register is valid legal consent. But the family are a very important safeguard in all of this.
At present, the family of the potential donor has the right of veto, which means that organs can't be taken without their consent. 35-year-old Becky Kelly from Prestatyn has been faced with just such a decision. Her 18-year-old son Anthony died in March this year.
Well, he'd gone to a nightclub with his friends and he was coming back in a taxi and he had an argument with his friend in the taxi. So he thought, right, I'm going. You know, the taxi was going 30 miles per hour and he decided to jump up, open the taxi door and jump out of the taxi. I sat in A&E, and then a consultant came out to me and told me that he'd had a serious head injury, and they'd contacted Walton, which is a specialist hospital, and they'd said that he hasn't really got a chance. And so the consultant had then said, will you donate? You know, would you like to donate his organs? Well, it was shock. I mean, I was so shocked when they told me about this accident, and, you know, I couldn't even think straight, except the fact that my son had said he wanted to donate his organs.
The memory of that conversation with Anthony made Becky's decision easier.
He joined the army when he was 17, so he always wanted to be a hero. And he loved the army. But 4 weeks before he passed out, he decided to leave and come home, and there was a job lined up for him. It was the army that actually pushed him to want to donate, but then even, after he'd come out of the army, he still wanted to donate.
For Becky, the current system worked. But latest figures show that 45% of families in the UK who are asked to donate their relatives' organs declined.
There's a degree of questioning around, can I ask why you've said no? And it might be because it might be built on myth. I don't want my son cut up into different pieces. I don't want there to be a delay in the funeral arrangements. That's why I'm there, to provide the correct answers to any questions that may come up. If the answer is still no, then that family have to live with that decision.
If somebody's carrying a donor card and the family still say no, what's the dilemma that leaves you with?
That's a difficult conversation because obviously that patient has expressed their wish. They may have put themselves on the organ donor register, or they may carry a card. And that presents us with a tough conversation. But ultimately, that family have to live with their decision. And if they would find it easier to not go ahead with organ donation and live with that, rather than feel like they've gone ahead with something that they're not comfortable with, and it's a real shame, but it's something that we'd have to live with.
41 people died in Wales waiting for a transplant in the past year. The Welsh Government wants to increase the number of donors by changing the system to a soft opt-out. Under the new law from 2015, everyone in Wales will be treated as a potential donor unless they opt out. So if you're over 18, have lived in Wales for more than 6 months, your organs will be automatically available for transplant after you die.
Under the new proposed system, you can opt in, and very similar to the situation that we're in now. Additionally, you'll also be able to opt out, and both those are what we would term expressed consent, either to opt in or to opt out. But there'll be a group in the middle who haven't expressed their view or their choice either way, and in that group of patients they will have deemed to have consented and be willing to donate their organs.
It's claimed that 15 new donors would become available under the new system, saving many more lives through multiple transplants. Wales will be the first country in the United Kingdom to introduce this new approach. Around 300 people